We were in an extremely difficult situation.
离死神最近的一次。
像刀尖上跳舞一样。
我们今天又站在了这里，
忠实履行使命，维护世界和平的铮铮誓言。
We hope you are resting in peace.
UN is the only protection that he has.
Peace, protection, and human dignity.
We need everything: food, water.
Help us. Help the nation.
Tomorrow you'll be someone.
I need these children to study.
蓝天白云红土地，
也希望他们能够实现和平，
给这个不确定的世界提供一份确定性。
China is a very strong player.
Nearly 20 years on, Kiam's ruins still speak. In July 2006, 4 unarmed UN peacekeepers died here, including Chinese Major Du Jiaoyu. Today, a small group of Chinese peacekeepers returns under the escort of the Lebanese armed forces. The region remains tense. Late 2024 saw hostilities cross the blue line. Hezbollah rockets into Israel.
A number of Hezbollah missiles and drones have...
And Israeli Defense Forces strikes into Lebanon.
Israel's defense force had crossed the border.
Beirut today.
The IDF saying that it's targeting Hezbollah.
Tanks closed in on UN posts. Shells hit the UN camps.
进行了多次空袭。
当时距离我这个办公室最近的直线距离可能就是将近50米。最激烈的时候，以军开进了这后面这个村子叫纳库拉，也就是联立司令部的所在地。
经常就会上着班，那边的航弹就呼啸而过，蘑菇云就腾空而起。
轰炸的声音都可以听到，尤其是在24年11月27日停火前。
24小时待在地堡里面，不能够出去。我听着有一个飞啸而过的东西，第二天早晨我就在离宿舍50米的地方，在地上发现了这个弹坑。如果说它稍微低一点，我们的宿舍可能就会有灭顶之灾。
On October 10th, 2024, an Israeli tank fired on a watchtower at the headquarters of the United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, or UNIFIL. 2 Indonesian peacekeepers were wounded.
We suddenly noticed a laser beam targeting us.
在这个坦克开火的瞬间，他们从这个哨塔上跳下来了。
One day later, another Israeli strike hit near a second tower, wounding 2 Sri Lankan peacekeepers.
弹片穿透了斯里兰卡士兵的胸膛，是从左侧锁骨上一直穿到右侧腋下。
I was quickly evacuated to the UNIFIL hospital and underwent surgery.
我们医疗处负责转运到了提尔。
Peacekeepers must be protected by all parties of the conflict, and what has happened is obviously condemnable.
UNIFIL has around 10,000 peacekeepers stationed in the south of Lebanon, drawn from armies of some 50 nations. It rejected Israel's request to evacuate.
We were in an extremely difficult situation. As a peacekeeper, I was saddened to see the region fall into conflict after so many years of relative stability, and to see how civilians were the ones to suffer the most.
In South Lebanon is Ebel es-Saki, a once strategic village near Kiam. 4 days before the November ceasefire, Israeli strikes tore through the village. Majid Monzer, a former assistant to Observer Group Lebanon, was caught in the bombing. He survived at great cost, and his wife could not escape.
When we reached the floor, the second floor, then another bullet or round, tank round, came and hit us. My wife got killed immediately, and I was buried almost under the damage. And I got one here. The muscle, the nerve down. It's not working now. Of course, it's very painful, but I feel more painful in my heart about the losing of my wife. I want to tell her that I love her very much. And sorry about what happened for her. I lost a beautiful wife, and for no reason. No reason.
Across the blue line, civilians lived under constant threat. In northern Israel, farmer Boaz Perry recalls rockets exploding just meters from his orchard.
You pick cherries, it's right on the border. The place which got the most hit during the war, there is a small army base just over there, it's called Tumus. This army base, the soldiers couldn't go out even to pee. So we were picking cherries and they were shooting. And you lie down because it's the only thing you can do.
Even when the bombing pauses, the hidden danger remains. Lieutenant Colonel Li Tong shows us the battlegrounds beneath southern Lebanon. His section is responsible for organizing and coordinating demining and unexploded ordnances, or UXOs, activities for the mission. Along the 120-kilometer blue line, he says, over 300 minefields were traced, and more than one-third of the land is still riddled with landmines and cluster munitions.
小的像子母弹的，可能只有一个荔枝大小，大到200磅以上的航空炸弹，它对于整个联黎的军事行动以及当地居民产生危害都是非常大的。
Li Tong adds that weekly discoveries continue since the 2024 flare-up.
3月中旬，在马来营区域，一名芬兰女性维和人员曾因误触一个子母弹的未爆弹药，造成了腿部的受伤。在过去的2周，有超过13人的伤亡。
Li Tong warns that this represents only the tip of the iceberg.
因为这次战争，经过我们的侦查，我们发现整个的情况跟我们掌握记录基本上全变了。
Starting May 2025, the UN Position 1-32A, an Italian-run camp at the southwestern tip, was the first to be cleared. Shifts in war terrain moved minefields into its perimeter, creating fresh danger.
该地区也是联黎任务区和以色列进行会议、交流，甚至人员往来的重要唯一通道。我们对中国5+10战斗工兵分队的要求是要尽快、高效地把这片区域的雷霆彻底解除。
UNIFIL oversees over 20 multinational demining teams across southern Lebanon. China's multi-role engineers now handle a great amount of clearance operations due to their numbers and expertise. On April 27, 2025, Israeli jets struck southern Beirut for the third time since the ceasefire. 2 days later, a new group of 65 Chinese peacekeepers arrived in Beirut, reinforcing one of the region's largest demining contingents. Commander Lin Wanlei told us that since 2016, the Chinese have cleared over 2 million square meters of contaminated land and neutralized more than 18,000 explosive remnants.
这一部分残骸弹片只是我们在执行任务过程中大量弹药残骸残片中的一小部分典型代表。
Lin Wanlei says recent hostilities have increased the challenge. In a land scarred by war, clearing the ground is the essential first step toward rebuilding safe communities. At the UN Position 1-32A, Qing Shanghe and his team face blazing heat, shattered walls and hidden mines.
以往我们地雷可能就是在土壤下大概20公分以内，但是它因为是这个覆土推过来的，就是地雷位置它是不确定的，然后包括地雷这个覆土的这个深度这些我们这个也不确定。就是我们不管是在这个清理植被，还是这个去除里面的一些金属污染的时候，都可能这个造成对地雷的一个拖拽 作业的过程中存在比较大的一个安全风险。
Xing Shanghe first served here in early 2020 as a deminer. Now, 5 years on, he returns with greater responsibility, leading the team through the same dangerous terrain.
当时我正在去除它这个未爆弹周边的一些植被跟这个枯叶的时候，突然发现这个未爆弹上面还缠绕有一些电线，当时的话心里面也是非常紧张，因为我不能确保这个未爆弹下方是否还有一些其他的诱发装置。当时的话应该说这个心的话也是到了嗓子眼。我们这个作业是一个比较精细化的作业。像刀尖上跳舞一样，只要出现意外，轻则是伤残，重则可能就是丢掉性命。
Farther up the ridge, Chinese military observer Shui Guiqing and her group are patrolling the Blue Line. The group's leader is Norwegian captain Jürgen Paul Lieke. Jürgen showed us the Blue Line. It is not a border. It is a UN demarcated withdrawal line established under Security Council Resolution 1701. This line is marked by 272 blue barrels, placed after complex scrutiny and agreement from both sides. Each barrel represents a carefully negotiated consensus upon which current stability in the region has been built.
We do blue line patrols where we observe points along the blue line and try and see as many as possible and see if there's any changes and also report what we see.
我们的行动区域真的有20几个村庄，我们要每天去进行巡逻，了解他们的情况，进行观察和监督停火。
Having different nations see the same things and report on the same things that then get sent to UNIFIL and the parties is very important for impartiality and having an objective view on the situation.
我们今天去主要是执行蓝桶勘察的任务。
We follow Lieutenant Colonel Xiong Chao-chun along the Blue Line buffer zone. Although the ceasefire holds, Israeli forces still occupy several positions.
蓝桶附近过去都是雷场，包括现在呢，还有很多的蓝桶边上的雷场呢，也没有进行清排。最严峻的挑战主要还是我们过去的蓝桶的通道呢，已经被完全破坏掉了，所以我们这次呢，对整个通道要全部重新开设。
Xiong Chao-chun says each barrel's path must be inspected and re-cleared. Then, Lebanon, Israel and UNIFIL must all confirm the position before the engineering teams can begin rebuilding the barrel's foundations.
报告队长同志，顺我手指方向，正前方偏左30米位处约有一个蓝桶。图上位置大约是在 B5。
Li Tong notes that the latest conflict physically shifted the blue line. Barrels uprooted, paths erased. These markers aren't just posts. They signify where peacekeepers once stood and, in some cases, fell. In Abel Es Saki, Majid Monzer recalls the day in 2006 when Du Jiaoyu and 3 other international peacekeepers died right here, trying to hold that fragile line.
What stands out in your memory?
He showed us the happy face, the smiling face always, and he didn't make any difference between us at all. We are from different religions, you see. So Du was very close from everyone and very generous at the same time. Many times we stopped to buy something, Du was always paying. His life is always in danger, or many times we thought that perhaps today it's our last day, but we kept going because we love peace. The last patrol, Team Sierra did that. I was together with him. So we were up in the mountains, and in that day he was preparing himself to leave because it's only 11 days left for him. He was taking pictures everywhere. He was almost very, very happy because he's going to meet his wife and his little child. Yeah. Oh, Du. Du, look at his smile, or he sacrificed his life in the service of peace. He's a Canadian guy. We used to call him Wolf. Big Mac, the Finnish guy, and he's from Austria. This is the West. We used to wear it to show that we all belong to Anso, but sad that it doesn't save our life. We spend a good time, for example, 11 months, almost 1 year, 7 months, 8 months, 4 months. I'm very proud by them, and from other side, I'm feeling sad. So immediately my tears will come out.
If you have a chance to talk
with Joe, I have to tell him that sorry, Joe. We didn't expect that bad end for you, but we hope you are resting in peace beside the angels up in the sky. If you can meet his son and his wife, tell them that they have a home in Abdelsaki here.
This video was made by Pat Dillon, an Irish commandant from Team Sierra. He was evacuated before the July 25th bombing and survived alongside Austrian Major Martina Jevel. The shadow of 2006 stretches far beyond Lebanon. Back in China and Canada, families left behind by those 4 fallen peacekeepers continue to ask why their loved ones died.
人员归他牺牲的时候在旁边。
他前头是他住嘛？
年轻的时候是吧？
在学校的时候。
军校的时候的照片。
在学校的时候，我觉得我儿子就是心地善良，喜欢交朋友。
在他刚上班的头一天，他跟我说，他第一件事情啊，是要给他正好牺牲1周年的那个法国的那个一群人献花。他冤枉的时候啊，一炮把我打死了。
所以在您心里，维和这个事业一直是充满着危险的。
对啊，对，打仗嘛。他牺牲的前一天打的电话，他就说是隔壁哨所被炸了。
We just had a Israeli 1,000-pound bomb dropped by a jet on Sierra Papa 1. As you can see, she's now on fire. This is what's left of the position. You can see the position is only several hundred meters from us.
We've also had 4 direct hits on top of Sierra Papa 6.
不超过10分钟，大概他那个电话打的，叫他们身体要健康。这个事他牺牲，我们家是我先知道的，在电视看到了，说这个在这个黎巴嫩4个人被炸死了，我就说肯定是他，我的亲人没了，抽很多烟那时候。
赵宇牺牲的时候，孩子还不到那个2周岁。
他的门口吧有一个小的一个挂的一个像，孩子就走到那个像的前边，爸爸，我想你说了3次。爸爸回家往门口那走。
我儿子就是还活着。
所以这么多年过去，您在心里还是觉得杜兆宇依然在执行任务吗？
哎，对。我依然，我是从来，那个字我从来没说过，我只是说我儿子出事了，但是那个字我是从来我不说，我不认为他是那什么。
依然像一个战场，你看，这就是他那个夏姆现在的状况，就是这样的，还是很触目惊心的哈。
我觉得我们漂洋过海，不远万里从中国来到这里，然后为了和平的这样一个使命，它是我们的一个后盾，一个支撑。
He was hoping much to come back home and to make his child growing up and to see him as a soldier. And for his son, I hope he will come to Lebanon and we can meet him in Lebanon to tell him the story about his father.
We came to see Cynthia Wadsworth, the widow of Canadian peacekeeper Peter Hess von Krudener.
This is the painting that someone was able to do, which is just amazing. His nickname, well, he was mostly known by Wolf. He really admired the traits of a wolf: loyalty, courage, integrity, and I think that's really why he got that name Wolf. He knew that peacekeeping, without a doubt, is dangerous. But I am going to patrol that blue line. I'm going to go down there, and I am going to look, and I am going to report as to what's going on. Because if we don't do that, they've won.
So we're just on our way back from a day of patrolling, and in front of us is some of the IDF positions. They're up there on the hill.
Victor reporting Echo 5, over.
Pretty cool.
To report everything that's going on. It doesn't matter what side is doing what. That is what he was there to do. The only thing that he can arm himself with is the letters UN, a flak jacket, and that is all that he has, and a helmet. UN is the only protection that he has. It was actually a sunny, kind of windy day. That was probably around 8:30 in the morning, and there was a message on my phone. It was Peta. He said, you know, I'm fine, I'm good, I love you, and I'll call back later. It was after noon, 10 minutes after 7, I got a call on my phone, and it was complete static, but I knew it was Peta. There's static, I don't think you can hear me, but I love you, and I'm gonna have to hang up so you can call me back. About 15 minutes later, the post was bombed. This is the news articles that I've put together. This is when he was missing, and that's the bombing of the post, sadly. And then people came and did articles, you know, about him and his life, and then the funeral as well. So yeah, I've kept all of the articles best I can. They're very important, they're very special to me, and it certainly helps with healing as well, that he is being remembered. I actually was there in 2013 as well. That was my very first time that I went to the memorial. They said to me it was too dangerous, and I said, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to fly to that airport. I'm going to get out, I'm going to find somebody, and if I have to crawl every inch of the way, I'm going to that memorial. You have people from all over the world coming to pay their respects in all the different ways that those from other countries want to pay their respect, and I thought that was truly amazing.
The UN condemned the attack. Israel later said the strike was a tragic mistake. An observer post was misidentified as a militant enemy target.
I've been to that position, and when I look out over the valley, there's an Israeli post right there that looks at that position, that UN position every day. I have also moved on. However, there are moments there are times. It's not the funeral that's difficult. It's everything else that comes after that. To honor Peta, Jarno, Jew, and Hans Peta, to remember their sacrifice is important. I find it hard, especially when I've been trying to write about it, to find those words, to express those things. But I do feel a responsibility to speak about this.
用生命书写了忠实履行使命、维护世界和平的铮铮誓言。
The ritual at Kiam is not just about mourning. It's a reaffirmation of purpose.
拖炮！
当我看到他的照片，而且他是微笑的，就好像在注视着我一样，我就感觉我们之间是有一种链接，所以瞬间就感到了一种传承，一种责任，一种信念。
Peace is elusive because perhaps we don't have enough investment into this. We need more observers. We need more support to the UN.
你不能说因为看到了战争就完全否认这个它维和行动或者维和任务存在的意义。
We, as a mission, made the decision to remain even during the height of the conflict, because this was the right thing to do.
The ceremony marked a promise. And it's a promise that Jing Shenghe now stresses with every training. Back at the Chinese multi-role engineering unit, Jing draws on his own life and death experience. He talks the new team through every step, clearing shrubs, probing, scanning for metal, and carefully excavating. Nothing is left to chance.
在我们以往蓝线附近扫雷作业的过程中，经常发现一些地雷，因为雨水的冲刷跟这个地势变化，一些雷可能就直接存在于我们的灌木丛以及树根或者是石缝里面。所以说我们在对浓密的植被进行检查的时候，一定要这个注意系统性的目视搜索。明白。
Huang Muhua is among the new arrivals in late April 2025. He and his teammates are here to renew clearance efforts. His training now begins with real ground and real danger.
胆大心细，每一次都当成最后一次对待。
For Huang Muhua, this mission is the ultimate test.
认真细致。
But for Jing Shenghe, it marks the beginning of a deeper transformation. Beyond clearing land, they honor the blue line and those who fell defending it.